The Giants clinch the number 6 seed in the NFL. For the Giants, this was a good season with a new coach in Dable. Daniel Jones has had a phenomenal season with nobody to throw at. One of only 3 quarterbacks to have over 3,200 yards thrown and 600 yards run. It really stands out when you're talking about quarterbacks that could eventually be franchise quarterbacks. And then you look at Saquon Barkley, the season that he had, a season where he is going to try to earn a lot of money in the offseason. Kenny Golladay being waived and thrown off the team early in this season because Dable didn't like him and he didn't fit his offense. And then Shepard getting hurt. And then all these injuries the Giants have to deal with all season long. Yes, their schedule didn't stand out as one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, but you play what's on your schedule. And the Giants had 9 wins this year, and they have a chance to possibly win 10 if they could knock off Philadelphia on Sunday. Will they? Probably not. But winning 9 games and having a winning season going into the playoffs as no matter what, the 6th seed stands out to me.
It is a great season among any expectations for the Giants. And you said it about Daniel Jones. He's been one of the most improved quarterbacks from his first 3 years in the league to this year. Another stat that's great with Daniel Jones that I saw yesterday was he has the highest percentage of on-target throws. 81% of his completions are on-target completions this year, which is the most in the league. Aaron Rodgers is second, and I think there's like a 5% drop-off after that to Jalen Hurts. Like, that's how good he's been this year with no wide receivers either. Slayton is their best receiver. He's a number 3 receiver on an elite team, elite roster. You put him on the Buffalo Bills, he's a 3rd receiver. You put him on the Chiefs, he's a 3rd receiver. The running game has been great, and it looks like Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones are both going to be paid this offseason. And the defense been very impressive too, considering all the injuries too. A lot of D-line injuries. Thibodeau out the beginning of the season, Leonard Williams, Ojulari, all the secondary injuries. They struggled in the beginning, but picking it up now. So definitely exceeding my expectations for the Giants as a playoff team this year. I had them as 6-11 team at the start of the year, and they're in the playoffs. So.
It has been a wonderful year for the Giants. And win or lose in the playoffs, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Moving forward, with the schedule getting a little harder next year and with all the money they're going to have in the offseason where they can add maybe some wide receiving help and maybe some offensive line help that they've been really lacking in the second half of the season. The only guy that's really played well this year is Thomas. I think that they can boost up their offensive line in the offseason. That will really stand out to help the New York Giants. And I've been saying this over and over again. The real quarterback whispering coach in the NFL is Dable. And you saw what he did for Josh Allen. And I think he's going to do the same for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is faster than Josh Allen. He doesn't have the arm strength like Josh Allen. But if he could be accurate and he doesn't fumble the ball like he did, he's absolutely capable of being an elite quarterback in this league. I don't know if he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, so maybe not elite, but he could be 10 in the NFL. And if he is, you can absolutely win with him.
The guy has only 8 total turnovers this year.
He's been really, really good, and you have to give a lot of credit to Dable. And if the Giants don't sign him in the offseason, somebody will. He will definitely be a big name and a quarterback that a lot of teams will look at in the offseason if the Giants decide to part ways with him, which I don't believe they will.
No, it seems likely that they're going to sign him now from the reports. Him and Saquon will get a contract and probably will both be 4-year deals.
The Jets eliminated after losing 23-6 to the Seahawks. It was absolutely horrendous the way the Jets played in a game that they needed to win. They did not show up to the game. You listen to Conklin saying at the end of the game it looked like we were just completely flat. Mike White, which every Jet fan wanted to be the starting quarterback, he was horrible. And I don't want to hear from Mike LaFleur after the game that Zach Wilson should have probably sat his whole rookie season. Because you want to know something? Mike LaFleur has not been helpful to this young quarterback, for the growth of this young quarterback. You look at the Jets right now. What are they looking forward to in the offseason? Breece Hall getting healthy, Elijah Vera-Tucker getting healthy. If Mekhi Becton could actually play for a significant amount of time and maybe draft like Joe Douglas did last year, well, take this team into a better position next year. Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson are not seeing eye to eye, which it kind of scares me. Maybe Robert Saleh could be out. What I do know is the New York Jets had a chance to make the playoffs 3 times. All they had to do was win 1 game in 3 games to get them here going into Miami, and they couldn't do it.
Especially with the way Miami fell off.
The Jets lost 5 games in a row.
They haven't won since they blew out Chicago. Lost to Minnesota, Detroit,
There's the team, Chicago. For all the Jet fans that just loved what Mike White did against Chicago, and by the way, MetLife Stadium, Justin Fields was not playing.
It was Jets legend Trevor Siemian.
So if Justin Fields played in the game, they probably lose. For all the Jet fans that tell me that Mike White could be the future, he could be the franchise. After he was waived not once, not twice, but 5 times by the New York Jets and brought back to be the 3rd string quarterback for this organization, and you think he was going to be the franchise quarterback, just shows me how inept this franchise really is.